All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. We are talking about Dune Prophecy episode 2. It picks up right where the second one, where the first episode left off. We get the dead boy, which is sucky, and then the dead Benny Jesuit sister. And then kind of deals with that. I don't know how you guys feel, but damn, this show is a slow burn. It
Really is.
Is it a slow burn or is it just not good?
Stuff is happening. It just happens in the last 10 minutes of the show of each episode.
Exactly. It reminds me of my complaint that I had for what's the Star Wars Andor that everyone always talked about. Like nothing happened, and then in the last 10 minutes something tries to rush and happen, and then like, and next time we will talk about nothing. What the hell? Like what are you doing?
Mhm.
Why is it taking so long? And why do we not care about these characters? I don't care about any of them.
Yeah. Not really. I mean, the girl who you find out is like the granddaughter or something like that.
Yeah. Probably the best one.
Heart. Yeah, I'm interested in Heart. There are people I'm interested in. I want to know how Heart has these powers. It's just that's why I'm like, I don't think it's a bad show. It's just you can watch this on like 1.5 times speed, and get through it in 30 minutes rather than sticking around for almost an hour.
I've never fallen asleep on the show that's that short. In the first 15 minutes, I literally found myself jumping up like,
yeah,
okay, what's going on? And then the last 25 minutes, I thought was good, but why would it take 30 minutes to get to that last? Like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah, it's. What do you think, Brand Man? What do you think about this episode or the show so far?
It just, like you said, man, it just moves very slowly to the point where I kind of have trouble getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I feel the urge to do something else while I'm watching it, but I try to stay focused on it. I think the most impressive thing about it is the
Here, Kenny.
Kenny, is the set design and Mark Strong. I think like my favorite actors on this show, obviously Mark Strong's great in anything he's in. I also like Travis Fimmel's character. I really like him as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just I find it hard to focus on the show.
Yeah,
it's because they're not focused.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not that they're not focused. I think where they're going to is really slow, which is annoying. But also, it's like it looks nice, but everything's dark. There's a lot of whispering. There is a lot of like soft talking stuff, and then like one person will say something kind of loud and like, "You don't do that to me," and then it's back to like the soft whispering kind of stuff again. And between that and it being dark, it coming out on a Sunday night. There's no real a lot of action, which is fine. I don't mind like a dialogue heavy, story, but like you got to get me intrigued a little bit more. Like I see where they're going, especially after the granddaughter. I can't think of her name. I see where they're going with
Kayla,
the prophecy. It's something like that. With the prophecy, and they're setting up the prophecy and this and that. Heart is really interesting. The Benny Jesuit like finding out about the powers that they are going to have later on. It has potential to get better. It's just it needs to start going a little quicker because there's 8 episodes,
6
episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just think next week we're going to be at the halfway mark.
And what? And what I mean, what do we know? The most interesting things are the last names for me. Honestly, that's the most interesting thing that I've really learned. I see where the story's going. I think that's cool. But literally the Atreides, the Harkonnens, the idea that when Emily Watson's character saw, what's his last name's Atreides, like kind of perked up a little bit. That was a little bit interesting. When Kayla was going under the stuff under the poison, that was a little bit interesting. but then they had like a 15-minute sex scene
Yeah. Oh my
for
god,
for
that lasted a
for
long.
for a little payoff, for a little bit. Oh yeah, your son told me. Okay, you could have said that. Well, we could have went to for a kiss and realized that they had sex later, and then said your son told me. There was no need to show that.
Yeah. It was just like, hey, we're on HBO. Let's show some boobies. Like that's what I felt like it was, because the actual sex, and it was a long sex scene, which, like you said, and then they do the talk. So I was like, you didn't need to have the sex scene. You could have like insinuated they had the
Anyway, it was
sex,
that.
and then obviously them both being naked, having the conversation, and then having sex again. You know, like,
It was like
yeah,
the sex was there just to keep us interested. Because
almost.
they knew this wasn't interesting, so they're like, "Oh, well, we're gonna do this. People at least like this, And I was
Yeah.
like, "Why?"
The last like 20-30 minutes, like you said, Brian, the poison scene, with the girl, and then the Heart and what's the name? Vala, the head,
Yeah, value.
the head chick, like their scene, like that was it. Besides that, I nothing else was interesting enough. You could have summed up 40 minutes of the show in like 10 minutes.
100%.
Yeah.
And then what's the other sister Talia? What's her name?
Oh, the other
The other
Harkonnen,
old, yeah, the other older one.
Tula, Tala,
Tula,
yeah,
something like the
something like that.
Tala.
Yeah.
But yeah, her connection with Kayla was kind of cool, I guess. Like I always saw you as a daughter, I always saw you as a mother, type of thing. That was interesting, and then to have to give her poison because it's sisterhood above all.
Mhm.
That was interesting, But they have interesting parts. I just don't think they're putting it together in an interesting way yet.
I follow.
But I'm going to continue to watch it because they could pull this off. And at the end, I'm going to say, oh, that was cool. I'm glad I saw this. But that's because I love Dune.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If I didn't
And-
like Dune, I would have gave this up a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I'm a fan of something like I am Dune or like we are Dune, it's always nice to see something that kind of it's kind of like the Penguin in the sense that they're doing that they're expanding the world and showing us more of it. So I'm
Mhm.
always game for that sort of thing. But I think just the execution is just kind of teeter-tottering for me at this point in time.
Yeah.
It's definitely not without its merits, but I think a lot of the merits come from, like I said, the acting. It's got a lot of actors I like, and from a visual standpoint, as I expected them to deliver. But just trying to get kind of invested in the story has been kind of my biggest obstacle.
Nothing major happened in this one. Besides Heart. Heart is kind of the advisor to the Emperor right now, to Mark
Yeah.
Strong's character. And the Benny Jesuit, head chick, Valia, doesn't like that.
Yeah, because they basically gave this. You're no longer needed here. That's basically what they said.
That's about it. Yep. Yeah, you find out about a rebellion. You find out the sisters have to do with everything. So you know, that's about
Yeah,
it,
so
man.
the sisters are actually on both sides. They're controlling the major
Yeah.
houses in the rebellion. They're in the middle of the rebellion too. That's a very cool thing.
Yeah.
So why would I wait to the last 10 minutes to figure that out?
Yeah.
But that's a very cool balance. So they're on both sides. They're playing both sides, just like they do in the Dune series. But that's how they got in control of all these things.
Mhm.
Seeing the powers of the push, and the voice. That's cool. And then the idea that Hart can do what he did against it, that was pretty cool. Knowing
Mhm.
that. Seeing what's her name, Michaela, go back and see her ancestors. Though that
Yeah.
was a cool thing. So
That,
like
that whole scene was awesome.
it
Yeah.
was visually it's amazing too. So like there are parts of it that I'm really enjoying. There are also other parts of it I'm like, where's my laundry? I could fold some clothes real quick.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got the backstory of the princess. Was it
Yes.
Yenez,
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so there's important lore. It just they say it in a very, like, because everyone's whispering again. Like,
Mhm.
she like tells it to the Atreides guy, and she just says it in like a
Kieran.
very like, Yeah, but the way she says it is like, "Oh yeah, this is my whole backstory. It's very important." Oh, okay. You wanna fight? It's like what?
And they're like, "Oh, you don't want to fight when they have sex? Okay."
Yeah, you wanna have fighting sex, basically. What kind of was? Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I hate the episode. It's just like Brandman said, it's hard to keep your attention at some times. We're not getting too deep into stuff because of like I don't know. Maybe we're missing it. Leave a comment if you're watching on the replay. Let us know. Maybe you have different feelings about it. Or you agree with us. We want to hear from you guys, so let us know. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button because we for better or worse, we're going
We're
through
gonna
all 6
finish it.
episodes,
Yeah.
and we'll see how it is at the end, but. We appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out with us for this Dune Prophecy. Also, if you're into another really awesome show, check us out on Saturdays. We talk about Silo, and that is not a show that sucks. That is a fun,
That is an
freaking show.
awesome show.
That is an awesome show. So definitely come check us out on Saturdays, talking about the newest episode of Silo. So we appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out with us. And if you are in the live chat, stick around because we're going to move on to our next topic.